Hey there and happy Tuesday. Sorry I'm a little bit late coming on my Facebook Live here. I had my product all spread out because the card that I'm going to make for you today looks like this. But I'm also going to give you another sneak peek of a different sample that's similar because the papers make everything kind of look similar but different with this product suite. And that's what I love about it. So how many of you, comment below if you are like nature watcher nerds, and I strive in that category when it comes to northern lights. So when I saw the Lights of Aurora suite collection, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so me. And because I'm blessed to live in the country and have this nice grove around, the trees kind of remind me of this. And anytime there's a chance to see northern lights, sometimes I'll just like go out outside, just step outside my door, adjust my camera settings, and if that picks up any kind of light or whatever, then I get in my vehicle, go down the road away from all the light noise and get rid of all of that can interrupt. And that's when I just enjoy the peaceful, quiet, and sometimes it's a little spooky. I'll hear like, if we've got corn growing or even beans or something, I'll hear something rustling in there that kind of gets me unnerved a little bit, but it's still kind of fun to be out there and just have complete silence and wait till everything like the radio and all the lights inside my vehicle goes dark so that I can really get the full gist of the lights. And I just enjoy that. So anyway, enough about that. Let me show you the Lights of Aurora here. So comment if you get into that kind of thing too. Just said that looking for Red Moon, didn't get it here, but maybe you guys did where you're at too. So, all right. Oops, did not mean to get into the camera. Oops. Okay, there we go. So here we have the card for you this way. Maybe it looked probably pretty similar the other way. And where all of these products come from is the new mini catalog. And you guys, I know I keep hearing how much you love it, and a couple of you are still waiting to get yours. So if you haven't got a catalog and want one, let me know. So just look at all these fun ideas. And just this one kind of reminds me of the card that I'm going to make a little bit, but just the paper really does it for me with this. So I'm going to show you all the pieces that make up this suite here quick, because I haven't done that yet. So the card comes together quick, so I feel like I can show you easily the other things. Ooh, and this is my other card. So that Peaceful Garden with the doves, and it's also in the mini catalog, has some coordinating fun glimmer paper or specialty paper that kind of goes with those colors, but I thought it kind of snuck in nice with this. So this is for a different day, but because I have this made for an upcoming class, I thought, well, I'll show you that, show you this one. I'm going to make this one today, and that one will be for a next time. It's very similar, but it's different enough that I want to do a different video with that one. Okay, so let me show you the stamp set first. Light and Wonder. Your strength inspires me. May your day be filled with, and then you can like fit in any of those, like embrace the wonder. Thank you. You are light, and you know, just different things. So kind of mix and match the different sentiments there. And then the other part of the bundle here is the Light and Wonder dies. And so you can see we've got some nice clouds there, and we could do like a mountain range and make it look like silhouettes, but it doesn't have to be black. As you can see in the pictures and samples that they've given us in the mini catalog on page 36, they've done a lot with different colors, and then just kind of filtered out these little areas too for different scenery and that. Oh, actually there's 3 clouds. And then you're like, well, that's not a lot of dies. So the die, the big die that I'm using today is very large. So this is just, I would say almost 6 inches, 5.5. Well, no, it's over 5.5 because it cuts off a little bit. So I would say it's close to 6 inches. So that's the die that I'm going to use. The other dies I'm going to show you here just briefly. So a smaller row of trees, not like the large ones, but a smaller row, still just as long. And then this kind of just wave cuts off that blue glimmer paper. And then this can feed, it can cut into the blue, and then it cut the top of the black so that it connects and combines together that way. So, so you've got that. All right. You know what I was thinking when I saw this too? How fun would it be if Stampin' Up! Gave us like a city skyline that looked like skyscrapers like that, and then had fun city lights. Maybe that should be my next suggestion. As I see this, it kind of reminds me of bright city lights. Okay, so let me put that aside. And then the papers are so fun. And I'm not going to take too much time to go through the papers, because you'll see here, so this, what I did is just for today's card, cut off, this is 6 by 6, and I needed 5.5 by 3, so I just cut off a 1/2 inch and cut it in half. So today's card will be more pinkish that I'm making, and this one's going to be more purple, as you can see. So I thought whatever that one was, I'm going to make the opposite, but it came from the same piece of paper. So you'll get 8 of one design, and then 8 of the next design, and then 8 of the next design, 8 of the next design, and 8 of the next design as well. And then the back are all kind of just coordinating. So kind of like a dark, almost black here, and then just pretty straightforward colors, but kind of brush stroke or airbrushed, or however you want to say that, kind of light and dark in there. So these are really pretty on the back side. And sometimes those scraps then, like that I cut off, I save, and you can stamp on there, because like black ink shows up well on there too. So that will come in handy as well. So you can see I've got like all of these 1/2 inch pieces here. So that might be used down the road. So that's also part of it. And then the other super cool thing are the embellishments. So these are the frosted iridescent dots. I'm going to take those out. So we've got some pinks in there, purples, and then some of the plain ones that are just going to pick up whatever the paper color is, and then kind of the more greenish, bluish color here too. So those are so pretty. I have actually used some of those Halloween foam stickers with this paper. That's cute. And then these also out of the Peaceful Garden. These are blue flowers, but they almost look like they could be little stars too, and they kind of coordinate with some of those same colors that way. So there's different embellishments that are going to look really nice with this, but it's hard to stray away from these, because as soon as I add them to my paper, I just kind of go, wow, that's perfect. And then I'm not using this today, but part of the suite has a ribbon also. This is Balmy Blue 1/2 inch, and it's sheer, so it's very light. So if this wants to be added to a project, it's not going to take away from it, because it's, you know, that nice sheer, almost see-through color and like material that way. All right, so that is that. Let me just kind of set that aside here, I think. I'm gonna set that here, because we're gonna need those embellishments. I'm gonna put that card front and center, maybe even show you a sneak peek for those just joining in. And like I said, the card comes together really pretty easy. And don't we all love cards that make people go ooh ah, and you just sit back and go, yeah, that took me like 15 minutes. All right, so basic black is going to be our card base for this, going kind of the long way across. And oh shoot, where's my little piece of paper that I just had? Here we go. And like I said, 6 by 6, cut off a 1/2 inch, then cut it in half. So this is 5.5 by 3 inches. And now this is ready to go on my card base. I'm just going to get some adhesive around there, and just going to go across the top. I score my card bases with my scoring tool, so it gives it a nice score, so I kind of know exactly where that's going to line up against that score. And nothing stuck over the top there, but I see a little bit did on the edge, so I'm just going to give that a nice little trim, and having it on the cardstock base gives me that nice edge to just trim along next to. Just one little piece that I think I cut away from instead of going along like I just said. Do what I say, not as I do. All right, so Then I could do one step, but I think I'm going to do the die cutting so you can kind of see how that comes into play. So I just grabbed another piece of basic black, and this is cut 5.5 by 3.5. Yeah, 3.5 inches here. So let me just bring over my cut and emboss tool here. And now, actually, I'm going to do something. I don't think it maybe has to have it right now, but I have some wax paper. And sometimes when I'm cutting for classes and doing a lot of die cutting, I just take a piece of wax paper, because if anybody makes lots of multiple cards, after a while, the cardstock likes to get stuck into these dies. And then every once in a while, like I use my brush tool, and that is great. Stampin' Up! Has a great tool for that now attaches to our Take Your Pick tool. But adding this waxy paper, I'll show you, it just kind of lines and makes the inside of your dies get a nice little coating that the next time it just seems to flop out after this, you know, for a while. So after it starts to stick again, then I'll put this in, and then I'm good to go. Okay, so I'm going to put that, so it's cardstock, wax paper, and then your die. So that is how that is layered. Okay. And then, oops, stuck to my mat there. So, kind of want to show you. I'm going to line it back up here and see if I can get rid of some of those things. Here in my mat. Okay. So yeah, because this is a quicker card, I thought I'm going to show you this extra step, because, and I don't know if it's going to be excellent, because an excellent opportunity to show you this, because I kind of fell apart a lot of times. If this isn't in there and the dies stick more, then I'll have more of an ooh-ah. But then as I pull this off, you can see there's like this little thing sticks out because it's white from the wax paper. Just poke that out with my pinky. Otherwise, only one of the things over here too stayed stuck in there. So it really does a great job, because that's a lot to get through that. Isn't that fun? So yeah, just love this. This is so pretty and like great for die cards. Love that. And then not a lot stuck in here. Sometimes what I do is just give it a drop on my glass mat too, and that gets rid of some of the extra things in there as well. So that's good. Okay, so got that. Now before I get ready to put this on, I spent probably way too much time thinking like what color is going to stand out. And I even had one of my sons was over, and I'm like, should I use some blue? He's like, no, it has to be a different kind of blue. Like I was thinking Misty Moonlight, Balmy Blue was too bright. And then I really liked how the purple really made things pop. So I took a piece of the Gorgeous Grape, 5.5 by 1.25 inches, because now this is 3 inches and a card front is 4.25. So we're just going to make sure that that, you know, equals that. 1.25 plus 3 equals 4.25. I did like math in school, so that helps. Oops. Okay. There, I thought maybe my adhesive ran out. It's just that I had this in the way. Okay, so let me put that now across there. And this is pretty easy to get on there also, because it does take up the front. And I just want to make sure it's not hanging out too much over the edge. Maybe a little bit on the side edge again. So I'm just gonna give that just a little bit of a trim. Doesn't need much at all. All right, so got that. And then this is ready to go on next. And you really don't see what this purple does too much, but you know how at the end of the day, like if you're at a cabin up north, say, at the end of the day, you just sit and you look out and you can kind of see the lake and the horizon and such. Not that lakes are purple, but I loved having like kind of that look of a peek through the trees of just a little glimpse of color like that. So I love what that purple does there. And maybe it's because my beloved Vikings won last night that just makes the purple all that more precious. All right. And so this, I wasn't sure. Sometimes when you run things through with the dies and that, it'll give you a nice like lay down. This still wants to kind of pop up. So I'm just going to take some mini glue dots here and wherever there's like a thicker spot, like right there, and then one over here, there's like a nice thick spot of black cardstock. Just gonna pop just 2, that's all it takes, just to kind of lay that down a little bit. And it's still, you know, not going to be super flat, but I like it when things aren't super stuck and flat to the cardstock, because I feel like it gives the card some movement and some like life that way to it. So that's good that way. And then I'm just going to follow through here again with that gorgeous grape from that strip. I took a 1/2 inch, I'm gonna double check my measurement, 1/2 inch, and this is about like 4 inches, this strip here. And I'm going to do gorgeous grape ink. So this pad, oops, you can see there's a little fragment of probably one of the last trees that I just did. I'm trying to flick that off so that it doesn't stick to my happy birthday. But I don't want to poke my ink pad either with my take your pick tool, which is super sharp. There we go. Okay, got that out. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so now I wanted like guy cards. I need guy cards, right? And so I thought, let's make this a happy birthday. It could be, you know, I showed you all of the different sentiments, and I'm going to use some for the inside of the card. But the Simply Said, do you guys have a stamp set that just kind of lays on your desk more often than others, or you just don't even take it off your desk because so many of these sentiments can be used? So I'm going to use the happy birthday here from the Simply Said stamp set, and I'm going to ink that up, gorgeous grape, on top of gorgeous grape cardstock, like so. Oh, has a little bit of a slant. I'm going to try it again. There we go. That's much straighter. All right. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of a banner cut. So if you don't know how to do that successfully, just go up the middle, like just eye it where the middle is, make a cut straight up, and then cut towards it and cut towards it. And that's an easy way to make a banner cut instead of trying to go from side to side and it never comes out the same. And then I also keep my almost gone dimensional sheets, and then this is golden to me, those edges that are just almost gone, but there's a little bit, and then this is going to fit the back side of this and pop that up super well. And then that's going to go across the top here, and then it just kind of coordinates with all the purple in there. And even on the other half, because like I said, this is the other half of the same piece of DSP, the other 3 inches out of the 6. So one's more purple and one's more pink, but look how they both just, you know, pop, but yet look so different that way. And then of course we need to do something with the inside. And that's where I brought out the Light and Wonder stamp set, and I put 2 of the sentiments together on one acrylic block to make stamping easier. May your day be filled with love. Hopefully that's not too gooey for guys if you're making it be a guy card. I'm trying to get rid of these little pieces here so when I put my adhesive on, it doesn't like either stick to that or jump over it, make a mark on my card or a divot. All right, so that needs to go inside here. As you can see, just having the paper do the work for your creation, how fun is that? Now let's add some embellishments. So on this one, I did more of the purplish on my card here from the frosted iridescent dots. So this being more pink, I'm like, okay, let's go for some more of the pink. But it's so soft that it's not going to make that much of a difference, but it will. So I'm going to take one of the larger ones and then one of the smaller ones. And my tacky is really gooped up there. And then I'm going to take another one of the larger ones and just kind of put that over here. And it just adds such a subtle thing. And even if this is a guy card, you can still put those pink things on there because it matches so well. So may your day be filled with love. Like I said, just fun to see how that looks different, how that comes together so easily. And then once again, if you're just joining, sneak peek of something that I'm going to be showing you from the same suite down the road there as well. All right, so if you are wondering, we have time for maybe an in-person event. I have one here in my home Thursday afternoon, 1:30 till 8 o'clock. I think. And so, or when the last person leaves. And so I have like 3 spots left for that. So it'd be great if you could join me. And also for the countdown, I'm getting very, very, very close to that Alaskan cruise. That's part of my squirrel moment of I'm having a hard time concentrating today because I'm really, really excited. I'm that close. All right. So that's all I have for you today. Hopefully I can check in again with you tomorrow with some more inspiration. Take care. Bye-bye.